So this is the Redmi Note 7 3GB model, and guys, watch it in at least 720p because this is shot in 60 fps. I'm sure all the gamers know the importance. So also you can see here that I disabled all the battery optimizations because this is really important to get the best out of the device. So I'm gonna show you if it's playable or not, and whether you should go for the 3GB or 4GB model. So guys, like this video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's begin the video. So the default settings are balanced and medium, but guys, this is SD660, so it is fully capable of playing in HD and high graphics because I did that in my Realme 2 Pro with no issues. So there is no question about the processor, but the only question is whether the 3GB is good enough to actually play the PUBG for long. So as you can see, there is already a bit of a lag that you may have noticed. So anyway, let's dive in and let's go into the Pochinki. And here initially my observation is that it normally plays out smooth. As you can see, there is no issue. The frame rates are pretty decent, around 20 to 30 as per what I can feel playing this. And as you progress more further into the game, you will start noticing a bit of slowdowns here and there. I'm going to show you exactly what happens. Let me fast forward this and let's hope that there is some action. And actually there is not much action going on, but we'll test it out with a vehicle and see how this performs. So let me just get into a vehicle and show you the panning especially, and the overall performance. I'm sure all the PUBG players know that when you are especially driving a vehicle with the recent PUBG update, it is actually lagging no matter what device you are using. At least as per my experience, I tried this in different mobiles and it happens, which is I believe has to do with the PUBG update. And I don't really like to blame the device, at least here, but you can clearly see that the lag or the slowdown is slightly more compared to the other handsets. Let me know guys how it runs out on your mobile, whatever mobile that you are using. And as you can see here, especially when I try to kind of drift it, and you can see a major slowdown right here. So as you can see, that is almost dropping a lot of frames and almost got stuck. So yes, now let's not judge this by this vehicle test, but let's just try and see normally how this performs when you're walking and panning around or running. And the disappointing thing is that even when you are normally running without a vehicle, as you can see, the panning is definitely not smooth. At least it is not as smooth as the Realme 2 Pro that I'm using. I mean, it has a 4GB model, yes, that we need to keep in mind. So the processor is actually underclocked in the Realme 2 Pro, but because of the 1 extra GB of RAM, of course, that is what actually we are testing out here. The question is whether the 3GB is able to handle it. So as you can see, there is a bit of slowdown here and there, and I would say this is definitely not a smooth playback. Definitely not something that a serious PUBG player would appreciate, but if you are an occasional PUBG player, you wouldn't mind it. Or if you are coming from a very low end device, then you wouldn't really probably complain much. Some of you might be wondering how it performs if you tone down the graphics, and as you can see, I am using the default settings, and guys, also here it has the almost the same performance and it does not really improve. And guys, the CPU and GPU are quite capable to handle the high graphics, but it is the only RAM that is the limiting factor here. So that is probably the reason why it doesn't really matter even if you tone down the graphic settings. In fact, off the camera guys, I saw worse performance than this. So definitely don't go for 3GB model, go for 4GB model if you are into PUBG gameplay. So that's been it. Please let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Also like the video, subscribe. I'll see you soon.